Now, first of all, let's talk about optimization, right? I mean, the iPhone quite easily wins here, because I don't want to say a lot of developers optimize their games for the iPhone, but it is much easier to make a game for the iPhone, for an iPhone, and keep it at that. If a game is more likely to work better, work just that slight edge smoother on a say $500 iPhone than it is to run on a say $500 normal standard general use Android. I feel like I have to pack all those keywords, because you can get a gaming Android phone for $500 and it's probably going to blow the $500 iPhone out of the water. But the gaming phone does not have like a close camera that's going to be close to that, or every other thing we're about to talk about. But like when it comes to optimization, because let me paint you a scenario. You're a developer, right? You want to make a game. Now it's easy for you to just make a game and you're like, okay, with the art we want to go with, the graphic quality and all the mechanics we're going to include in our game. I feel like we're going to need something of like the iPhone 10 up. There is only one brand of phone that has the CPU, the RAM, the screen, the everything that the iPhone 10 have. There's only one brand that has all of that configuration in that exact measurement. And what is the name of that phone? The iPhone 10. Are you getting my point now? But if you want to make a game that is going to run smoothly on a 6 gig RAM Android, for example, there are thousands. There is tens of thousands of 6 gig RAM Android configured phones with a vast difference in CPU. Some have the Kirin chipset, like the Huawei Kirin chipset. Some have the Samsung Exynos, the Qualcomm Snapdragon, the MediaTek CPUs. So you cannot just gauge, like if you say, oh, you want to make a game that will work well on the, let's say, Snapdragon 756 now or something. Yes, they are equivalents of that particular chipset in all other brands that all other brands have made in the same generation, but they are not quite the same. Maybe one has a higher GPU frequency, the other has a better ray tracing, all of that jazz, right? So the GPU, the CPU, you can't really align. But if you say you want to make a phone for the iPhone 10 upward, it is either a game that will run perfectly on the iPhone 10, or whichever higher you go, how much higher you go on that iPhone spectrum, it's just going to work better, because there is more. iPhone 11 is better than the 10, and so on and so forth, like that, up to the 15, right? So it's a lot easier. So when you are gaming on an iPhone, it just has that fluidity and everything you might want to get. It makes everything a lot seamless, a lot more easier, and which I'm going to say now, for a lot of the majority of gamers, mobile gamers, that's enough. That is probably, dare I say, more than enough, because you can play any game you want, maybe on max graphics, but definitely on smooth frame rate, as long as the devs say your phone is recent enough, strong enough to play this game. You play it smoothly, you play it wonderfully, and it just makes everything all that a little bit easier, right? You don't really need to bother yourself about tweaking settings and all of that. So, and again, the iPhone hardware just has this feel, this premium feel, the Titanic back, in case you maybe you just got scared playing a horror game and you dropped your phone, that kind of thing. It's kind of like that's a very niche analogy, but you still get the point. The Corning Gorilla Glass on the front, the Retina display, everything. So when Apple let's say you buy the latest flagship iPhone now, you are getting the most high-end of hardwares. Yes, Apple, they do like to I don't want to say cut corners. Apple does like to hold a few hardware components back from their customers, just so they can use it as a selling point for the next one. But even the current one that you have, you kind of get your money's worth. You do get your money's worth. in my opinion. So using an iPhone just means an iPhone always seems like, it seems like the safer option. There is less risk because of how secure and, dare I say, paranoid Apple is with shielding their customers from outside, which, to be fair, is not just for your benefit, because, for example, Apple doesn't want you to customize your display. They don't want you to customize your home screen. And yeah, you can say, oh, you might mistakenly miscategorize your app and begin to have trouble finding it, or all of that. But then again, they are doing it for instant recognition. Apple has always wanted that instant recognition branding, that once they see an iPhone, you don't even need to turn it on, it's an iPhone. You see those 3 cameras at the back, you see the Apple logo, you turn it on, you see those distinct icons, it's an Apple product. So it's not just for you, even though you are gaining a what do I call it now, because you are getting an advantage from it. It's also for them, right? But it's kind of like a symbiosis, so you can't really complain. And now Android, well, yes, games might be better optimized for the particular iPhone. They have the hardware and fluidity and everything, but there's one thing where Android easily beats out the iPhone, and it's in the freedom. Now, like I said, the iPhone configuration, their hardware, software, everything, even the restrictions, it is still more than enough for the general mobile gamer. It is more than enough. You can do everything you want to do and do it well, do it without issues. More than enough for almost, I don't want to put a number of it now, but for the average standard mobile gamer, yeah, you're good. But for gamers that want to delve deeper, that want to get the best out of their phone as much as they can when it comes to gaming, and for you to be watching this video, you are probably one of them, Android is the better choice. And let me explain. Number one is your mod. Now, Android allows you to mod your games. Now, I am not even talking about hacking and using aimbots and all that nonsense. I'm not talking about changing stuff. But here's a good example: Stardew Valley, the popular farming simulator, which if you haven't played, you definitely should, and you should check it out. It's really good. So Stardew Valley came out around, I think, 2016 or thereabout. He ported it to mobile, ported it to Android and iOS, right? You could go on the Play Store, buy the game. It's a one-time payment game, no microtransactions, no bullshit. Pay your money, get your game, enjoy. Classic PC console Steam-ish experience, right? But now, Android buyers of the same game, which by the way are paying just about the same amount of money for the game, the Android users are getting a lot more from the game than the iPhone users, because Android users, they can mod their game. You can add swimming underwater, you can add new fishes, new crops, a lot. You can, there's literally a mode that almost doubles the size of the map, and that is not even available for you as an iPhone user. But as an Android user, all you have to do is install the mode, download the mode, rather move it to a file, you are good to go. So now, an Android user easily wins that argument, easily wins in that aspect. Emulation. A lot of people seem to, kind of overlook emulation, but there are some people now that like to collect games. They have the N64, SNES, and on like that in their wardrobe, in their cupboard, in their closet, wherever. Meanwhile, an Android user can simply download RetroArch, which is like a almost 8-in-1 emulator, and can just get those games and play them easily. You buy your CD, you burn the files to a disk or burn it to a flash drive or whatever, burn it onto your computer, then move it to your phone, and you can play those games on your phone. Get a controller, your phone is now that console. It is really that simple. You want to play the SNES in 2024, Do you need to buy an SNES console? No, you don't. Why? Because you use Android. Easy. Download the SNES emulator, connect your Bluetooth controller, you are good to go. Your phone is basically your SNES and your PS1 and your 3DS and your GameCube and your Wii all in one. So emulation opens up so many possibilities, so many more options of games to play. If you are tired of the endless barrage of microtransactions and the sheer scumminess of the current mobile market, which I'm going to talk on very soon in another video. You're tired of that, right? Yes, everyone wants to go back in time to the good old days where gaming was just fun and you grab your controller and you're having a good time. Well, now you can on Android. You easily can. That game, you get the game on your Android in whichever way. You buy the disc and copy it, or you sell the ICs. I'm not going to judge. You get that game, you get an emulator, you play it. 1, 2, 3, 3-step process, done. You want it bigger, cast your screen to your TV. Easy. Casting your phone screen to the TV, you are sitting back on your couch, you are holding your controller, you almost even forget that you are emulating, because it's basically like you have the console. And those are just for the retro arc, right? PS1, SNES and GameCube and everything before that. Now you can enter SX2, you can emulate the PS2, you can emulate the PS2 and use it like you would use a PS2. If you don't want to cast your screen to your TV or whatever, mount your phone on a stand somewhere, on a tripod, wherever. Turn on your Bluetooth, connect your Bluetooth controller, or you don't even have a Bluetooth controller, get an OTG cable, connect your wired USB controller to your OTG and you use it. Very, very easy. Don't even get me started on every cryguards PSSPP. You don't even need a controller for that, because you want to click 2 buttons at the same time. Well, map those 2 buttons into an extra button, put the extra button on your key. Every time you tap that extra button, you're tapping those 2 buttons at the same time. So that freedom, the amount of options you get picking an Android when you want to, with the intention of playing standard Android games, emulating everything, it is endless. I have talked about the unofficial ports in the past, like the OpenMW for Morrowind, the Half-Life port, and so on and so forth. All of those were only possible on Android. You can play Cuphead on your Android. You can play Hollow Knight on your Android. Want to see a video? I'm going to do another one if that's what you want. Tell me in the comments. You can. I think you can emulate the DS, Nintendo DS, if I'm not mistaken. I think Drastic is on the Apple App Store, but there's no PSSPP. Well, at least not seamlessly, unless you want to jailbreak or you want to use the IPA, then connect your PC to it's very long and not straightforward and very messy, unlike somewhere where you just literally go to your Play Store and you hit install. Easy. Or you go to the GitHub, or the open source one, you go to the GitHub, literally hit install and wait a few seconds and you're done. Now battery. Battery. Need I say more, right? What brings everything together here? You just can. It's almost like Android is almost approaching a point where you just think of something like, what if I do this? What if I do this? What if I do this? Will it work? And you can. Honestly, I have this, USB dual twin controller that I used to use to play on my laptop, and then later I bought a Bluetooth controller, right? And I was just checking it around EtherSX to see what I can do, and then I saw that EtherSX2 is working quite well on this, and I thought, what if I use an OTG to connect that controller? I can basically connect 3 controllers to my phone at once and play multiplayer with my brother, sharing my phone's screen, or I can cast my TV. Wow, that's ridiculous. Now multitasking and just background running, I'm still going to have to give this to Android. Yes, iPhone manages RAM very well, but Android not only manages your RAM, allows you to use that RAM while it is managing it. I have a friend that he has, well, while he was going through the honeymoon phase of his relationship with his girlfriend, while he's playing Call of Duty Mobile, he will always have WhatsApp open at the same time in its tiny little window, kind of like your windows on your PC, right? He'll have WhatsApp open there, and while his girlfriend is texting, he takes a few seconds, replies, and goes. You can't do that. You can't do that on an iPhone. You can't. I don't know why, but you can't. Is an iPhone strong enough to do it? Yes, it is. Can you do it? No, you can't. And for some reason, I don't know why that is not on the iPhone yet, and I hope you guys get it soon, right? Windows, expandable windows, resizable windows, running 3, 4, 5 apps at once, one screen. I mean, come on, man, come on, you have to give that to the Android. But now, you want to say you can't afford a game, right? You can't afford the game and you're using the iPhone. You can't afford the game. You can't play the game. Go get something else. I mean, play Subway Surf. No. But on Android, you can't afford the game. Well, just like what you can do, what a PC gamer would do if they can't afford the game. Take to the ICs, open your sales, and go get your game. Whatever. It is what it is. Anything can be found on the internet these days, right? So yeah, don't want to talk too much on that, but you can do that easily on Android, and you can't do that very much on the iPhone. Now, to answer the question, Android or iPhone for a mobile gamer, well, there is no straight answer. I just honestly, there's no straight answer. I just feel like it depends on where you are, on how much involved are you with gaming, how much of a gamer, mobile gamer are you, or how do I want to put it now, how much more do you want from your phone when it comes to gaming, right? How many more things than the average person can do you want to do? So that's all it depends on, right? If you are the type that you want to be able to explore every aspect of gaming as much as you can with one device, Android is easily the better choice. And if you are done that, you just want to play what you want to play. You just want to play the good games that are out. After work, a nice relaxing day, whatever. You just want to game. Then iPhone is the way to go, because not only will you game, you will game wonderfully, smoothly, fluidly on your iPhone, right? So I feel like that's just that, right? Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think more people should get the iPhone, more gamers should get the iPhone, more gamers should get the Android? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.